righty. Well, we've got Pam, Joy, and Lois. Happy Friday, all that good stuff. We'll see how many more show up other than just the admins. Excuse me. Hey, Christine. So anyway, we're going to be continuing to work on our long envelope junk journal. And it looks really floppy and flimsy right now. And this will get improved as we continue to work on this. And I don't know how much more. I've got the whole first section done. And then there's the two remaining, sections to do. So there's this one, and so this one's done. And then I don't know how many people want me to continue to work on this, live. Or I can finish it off camera and do a walkthrough of it at the end. But I thought we might work on the covers today. And as I said, these are just canvas on my spines at the moment. But as this is filling up, when I first put it on, I go, oh man, I'm going to have to take a section out of these spines because it's just kind of floppy. But as you can see how full this first section is, and as those get fuller, this is actually going to be just about right. Or actually, I might have to add something onto it to give it some more breathing room in there. So we'll see how that all shakes out. But that's something that I can do on these spine areas. I can add some fabric into them. I'm going to split them and give it a little bit wider. But I can still work on getting these two covers and possibly this front page here done. So alrighty. Well, it looks like we're getting quite a few more people coming on in, so we can go ahead and get rolling. To start with, I do want to mention that I don't have, because I've been using this paper, so I don't have all of I didn't reprint some of them. But this is this paper, I called it In the Mix, is now up on my website. It has 25 total sheets to it. So it's got some journaling cards, and then it's also got a washi tape sheet that I have to put the adhesives on. And then just has all the papers. So the pattern papers has some line drawings, some watercolor foliage, and some flowers. A lot of them are daisies. It has kind of a real early summer kind of vibe to it. And with this one, I was really going for more of a kind of mixed media kind of vibe to the paper, but softer kind of colors. So, but here's some of the pattern papers. I'm missing I think I've cut up 3 or 4 of them. So has some of the backgrounds that don't have the floral stuff on them, which are good for just, pages. So, and they're subtler colors and softer kind of look than some I've done. Of course, I have to have my stripes. So we have a pink stripe. I don't know, it looks black and white, but there is pink in there. And then there's this, what I'm calling broken stripe with this aqua color. And then it's got the accent color. So there's a pink, there's a blue, there's a gold, there's a charcoal, and there's a green. And then, as I said, there's, and I printed this, I just have to put the adhesive onto the back. So there's the sheet that has the um, washi tape. So some of them are pulled from papers that are in this collection. Some of them are modifications. Like this peach one right here is a modification color wise. So of ones that are in the pack. But as I said, I didn't print out the cards. But it's got 2 vertical, 2 horizontal, 4x6 cards, and then it's got the washi strips. And I included that. I tried earlier with some of my latest collections. I was going to do it where you can just order the paper and then you can get any of the other pieces, but that just seems to cause more confusion. It's so crazy. I look at how other people do things sometimes, and it's like, oh, maybe I can try something like that. And whenever I try something that seems to be uber successful for other people, I don't know. It just seems to belly flop for me. So I'm like going, I'm just going to keep doing what I've done. It seems to have been okay for you guys. So, but I do find it rather funny. So real quick, before we get started, I want to go ahead and put my adhesive, and this is the Stick It adhesive stuff. And then I print these out onto, it's actually pastel paper. You can do it on rice paper or charcoal paper. I'm sorry. It's charcoal paper. It's a Strathmore charcoal paper. It just has a nice, it's pretty lightweight. You could print all your paper out on something this weight. That's one of the things I have been experimenting a lot more with is just printing on other than just cardstock. I've been printing a lot on mixed media, buying a mixed media pad. It's not a whole lot more expensive, and printing on that rather than always printing on cardstock. And sometimes I like the little bit lighter weight to some of these, and they've got a texture or a tooth to them. So I've been really liking printing things on other papers other than just onto cardstock. So make sure I get everything in here because this is slightly about the same width. My pad is larger too. It's 9 by 12, so I just trim it down to 8.5 by 11. So I just take an entire pad or book thing of it, and I just sit and trim it the whole pad down, or however many sheets you need. Because I'm constantly printing. All right, so that's all set to go. And trim them up real quick. The adhesive sheet, sorry, it is the Stick It sheets from Ken Oliver's. And I just really like how these work. So it's as sticky for what we're doing as, say, using sheets of score tape, because you can buy score tape in sheets. I have it here somewhere. But it's a whole lot heavier and a little more challenging to work with. So I like the Stick It stuff. Yeah, sometimes if you are using things other than papers through your printer, it depends on your printer. My Epson printer likes everything, but it does not like um, the printer, the acetate that could go through a printer. It just is like, yeah, no, I don't think so. My HP went through stuff, no problem. So it kind of depends on the printer. But sometimes you have to do things like Candy is suggesting and attach a piece of cardstock on that leading edge in order to get it to go through. Because there's a ton of things that you can run through a printer if your printer will let you. So it depends on the printers. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these into strips. And I know many people are with these washi tape strips and stuff are kind of like going, that's not very much tape. Well, you could run 2 sheets of it. But to be perfectly honest, do you really ever on a project use more than like a foot of tape? Probably don't. So. Yeah, I'm anxious to see how the canvas paper stuff works. Now the canvas paper or not the canvas paper, the canvas, the pad canvas. Now I printed on that without any issue whatsoever with my printer. But it's the canvas, it's actual paper that's got canvas texture. That one's got some pretty heavy texture. Yeah, I'd want to see how it worked before I printed very much on it. But the canvas, the pad of canvas stuff that I've shown before that I get at Hobby Lobby, that stuff goes through my printer, no problem. But yeah, as long as it's, like a 9x12 pad, you can just trim it down to 8.5 by 11 to run through the printer. It's actually no problem. Or actually, you can even just cut it down to 8.5 wide and leave it 12. It'll still go through your printer. Because most printers that will take 8.5 by 11 will also take a legal size, which is 8.5 by 14. In fact, I have some paper collections started that are on 8.5 by 14 paper. All right, then these come in varying widths. So they range anywhere from 1/2 inch on up to like a little over 1 inch wide. So. All right, so that's all good to go. So, do you want me to work on the cover or do you want me to continue working on some of the pages in the book here? All right, let me just walk you through what I've done so far because I've worked on this since we've had our now I still need a pocket, a tag to go in this large pocket. We worked on this one in class where I made it all wrinkly and stuff. The little bird we did in class. I ended up deciding just to have one tag in here because it was too fat otherwise. And then this one has that little accordion piece on it. So off camera. So I did some stamping. Here's that broken stripe. It's got a little tab on it. So then on this side, it's got a place, for some journaling stuff, things like that. So then here's the little page out of the book. So I've got just the little kind of did a little matchbook type flap. And I painted over the top of this with some white just to make the words less obvious. The backside, I have a little cream color piece that I stamped a butterfly on. But having this little thing here at the top with it tied. And then here's this little tag guy here, which we did before. And then the tag that fits inside. I used some of that stripe here. This is a good place to have some little written piece. Could have a title there. You could put pictures on there, whatever. And again, I still have to come up with a quote to go inside the window there. This is the little envelope that we worked on the very first day. And the tag that goes along with it. And here's the tag, which I still have to decorate, that goes inside this envelope. And here's the back side of it. I added some little peachy color up here at the top, just glued to the top. Here's the other half of that page out of a paperback book. And I painted over it, did some stenciling. I cut out a heart, and then I used the part that I cut out to put on. And then made a little tab here. And then I painted on the back with some green, and then stenciled, and then put the heart that I had made on the back side. And then here's another one of those accordion out. So I have a tag or tab thing to pull. And this is just one of the papers. And then I just added a little bit of stenciling accent onto it. So and again, using a similar stencil. Here's some washi tape on here. So this is a good place for some journaling back in here. And some journaling sheets where, again, this is just some printed lined paper. And then I just stamped some butterflies on there. Here's some of my paper on the back here. Another little just scrap of the paper. And then I just added to it with some pink crayon and stuff. And then this is a little scrap of paper where I've been doing this a lot, to where I take an old some old pages, and this is just from a paperback book, so it's not even anything fancy, and I just use that whenever I'm painting anything as my palette that I put the paint on. I've also been starting to do that. I have a just a mixed media book, and I started doing that in here too, because I don't always want it with the words back behind. So I kind of alternate a bit. So sometimes I do it on the paperback book, and sometimes I'll do it here on this paper, because then you save these and you can cut it up, and then you can get these little accent pieces, so you can just see where that came from. Was off of there. I just tore a little strip, and it gave that little pop of the color. Here's the envelope piece in the back, and the envelope that we had done that I was originally going to put in the one back here along with a tag. It just made it too fat, so I said, oh, I'll just put it on this one. So this one, I've got some of my jelly printed paper that's also on that same paperback book. Some printed ledger paper, another stamp of that butterfly. And here's just a little scrap of some paper from doing some jelly printed papers. And it's just a tiny little scrap, but I wanted that pop of pink. Then on this guy, some of the digital paper, added some green around the edge, some stenciling. This is a little stamped leaf. And again, some commercial paper, put a hole in it. And then here, I just took some grid paper, left this is, the width of it. It was a larger sheet. Left all this on there, just kind of added some grunginess to it. a stamp as well as some washi tape, and then accordion folded up so that it then fits inside that envelope, which tucks inside that little pocket. On the back side here, again, just collage some little papers on. This is some washi tape that has some bugs on it. So then here's the other half of the grid paper. And I used that same stamp and then painted this and then stamped on it and then added some color and then added this flap on the backside. So there's journaling here. And I just did it all over the dot pattern on the back. Did a stenciled piece on here, added some color. And then to attach this, I hooked it down, but then punched some holes and added some floof. And then here at the back, this is the back side of the envelope and the pocket. And so I just had this extend down in, and then I put some paper that folded over the edge to kind of give that some little bit more beef to it. The digital paper here and here. But again, this was just using some of this where I had some hot pink left over from something else I was doing. And so while I have that, I just will take and when I still have some paint left, like if I had had a bunch of paper on here, I will many times do like a stencil it or something onto another piece of paper that gives me my some extra papers to cut up or to use. Now here's some that has gotten stenciled on. Here's some more that have been just with, my paint palette stuff on there. So it just gives you a way to throw in a little touch of extra color. So Pam's going antiquing to look for a ledger. I have an old, I think I've shown it before, and I've gotten permission. Let me grab it and talk about it a little bit. I wish I was more into this when we were emptying out my mother-in-law's house, but I wasn't into this stuff. But I did save some of these things. For instance, I have this old cash book, which can be spread out to get a lot larger. But it's from like the 40s. And my mother-in-law would write down, because this is all her handwriting, this was their budget, how much they spent each month and things like that. So it's cool. And I could picture doing something in here since it has, some personal history. Because what I also, it's like, here's some spills. But what I also love is it's also got some scribble stuff on it that's either, I don't know, I think it could be both. But it could be my brother-in-law or it could be, because it's before my husband was born. This was like in the 40s and 50s. And so his brother would have been little. So it could have been his brother's scribbles, or it could have been later and been my husband's scribbles. But see, it's got all these, but look at these lovely pages in here. So, but yeah, so, and it's no name sign, so I can't tell if it was, who scribbled in it. So there's an airplane, so it could have been Richard. There's another airplane. So, yeah, so it's pretty funny that there's family stuff in here. So I eventually want to turn this into some sort of book with some of my in-laws' pictures in it. And then we also have this, it's called a Smith's computer. And in the days before calculators, this one has a 1942 But in the days before calculators, there's these charts, and it has things on the side, these little tabs. Like this one says 15 and 3/4 and 16 inches. So, it's 15 and 3/4 and 16 inches. And I guess it's probably multiplying it. So it's 16 cents. So 1 is 16, 2 is 32. So if you had 327 times 16 cents is 52.32. So you would look it up on these charts. So it's kind of cool. So these are, personal ones that were, my in-laws. And then I've been going out, and Pam's aware of this too, is I've been going out and getting books. I showed a few of them last time, but I got a couple more. Like I got this one yesterday. And what I look for when I'm looking for books, oh no, this wasn't the one I got yesterday. This is the one I got yesterday. And what I'm finding I'm looking for when I'm looking for these old books, and they're not really expensive, but I'm looking at the title, because I don't always want to cover the entire cover over, because and we might do this on a live show. Is you can take then the pages out of the book, and you'll be able to use those for all sorts of things. And then we'll put signatures into the book. Again, there's 5 million YouTube videos on doing this. This is not something new that I'm going to show you, though how I'm going to do it is a little different than most people do. So we may do that as a show. But finding these vintage books, I just hit the vintage stores, but this one, there's things in here. This is some cool older paper, but like she takes wings. It's called Make Believe. She speaks her mind. I want to keep some of these pages to honest, and she denies it. That somehow fits in with today's world. But some of those things, I want to keep some of those words to be able to put on there. But this has got some really great texture to this paper, and it's aged wonderfully. So this one is from 1943, or copyright 1930. But it looks like this was printed in 1943. So, but yeah, no, those are cool. The other thing I've been finding is this one store had a bunch of it's envelopes. There's nothing in them, but it's all envelopes. But I love having other people's handwriting and stuff like that. So I think it's cool. These are mainly from someplace in Tacoma. So here in Washington ones, but I got a bunch of packs of these because I eventually am going to make some ephemera packs for people who want them and stuff like that. But it's fun going into these vintage and antique stores and looking for that kind of stuff. So anyway, but yeah, I mean, I'm personally the freedom of doing this kind of thing. I'm having a blast with it. So, I don't know if you guys are enjoying it. You all don't give much feedback anymore. Excuse me. So I'm just kind of moving along forward with what is of interest to me. But I'm having so much fun with this junk journal type stuff. I just don't know what your interest level is. So I'm trying to keep it to where, so people who want to keep it to where it's much more traditional can do so, or you can turn it into kind of the junk journal type of thing. So, well, I know there's 2 or 3 of you that are enjoying it, but I don't know about, everybody else. I mean, we get such small crowds at our shows, the live shows these days. So, but I know that junk journaling and stuff is something that's kind of gained popularity over the last few years as the scrapbooking type things are kind of waning a little bit more. So I'm just trying to figure it out. I don't want to do things that people don't want to do. I mean, I can do all the stuff that I like to do on my own. I don't have to share it with all of you guys if you don't want it. If that's not something people are interested in. So I would seriously love just some feedback of what kinds of things you guys are interested in doing. So okay, well, we've got 3 or 4 of you that are enjoying it. So we'll just keep on working. So do we want to continue on working on some more sheets? And then we can do the cover at the end. Do you want me to work on the cover today? Do you want to start something new next week? Or we can just keep on, because we can keep on working on this one for 2 or 3 more shows if you want to, especially if I leave it out and I work on it more on my own. Okay, sounds like people want the cover now. Okie dokie. Now I made my cover just out of cardboard, mainly because I kind of wanted this ripped edge kind of thing. But you could also do it out of chipboard. And again, because I had sewn on this, I also just sewed right through sewed my canvas spines right to my cover. So you don't have to sew it. It can be glued. You can do spines like we've done on albums. Every album I've done for the past million years, to where you have a spine that's attached to your front and back covers, if that's what you prefer. Doing a hard spine like that, I would wait till you have your pages all done so you know how thick it's going to be. I mean, this one came out a little fatter than I was anticipating, but I also know I stuffed a lot of stuff in things. So it's gonna be a chunky little monkey. So I'm not gonna be putting anything on my spines right now. As I get this more completed further along, I will. But if I have to split these in part and make it a little bit wider, I will. In fact, with some hindsight, I probably would not even have sewn the covers on yet. I would have gotten this all done and then put the covers, figured out how wide this needed to be. But once I do that, then I will be attaching some stuff probably to the outside of this. I might even take and sew some not chipboard, but some cardboard onto the outside to make it a little stiffer. But I'll determine that once I know how fat this is. But we can still, because I'm not going to unsew it, I'll just split it down the middle and add some. So I can go ahead and do the cover. I guess I can flip this over this way. And so we can add onto the cover here and that sort of thing. So I probably will go ahead and do some paint on it. Oh, I have to show you a thing I found. I haven't used it yet, but it's the coolest stuff. I just looked up looking for I found a Blick. They have black glue. How cool is that? Inexpensive sewing machines. Singers, especially if you can find old singers. Janome is another good one. That's a good quality. That's a lower price. And you can get both Singers and Janomes, I think, are both. I think Joann's is carrying Janomes. That's what I have. That's what I'm sewing on right now. I have Berninas. I have a Bernina. I have a Janome. Actually, I have 2 Janomes, 2 Berninas, and it's escaping me. And the most expensive machine, it was like $7,000 machine. But that was also 15 years ago now. But I can't think of what brand it is. But anyway, I would say Singer or Janome. It would be my two top choices. I don't know if it dries black too. I just squirted it out and I didn't check when it dries. I mean, it's seriously black too. But if you're working on like black paper, how cool is that though? Look, see how black that is. Let's try it. Let's see. We're just going to do a little product demo here. I think it probably is going to dry black. I don't know how it's going to change color. Is your birthday coming up there, Alexa? Yes, Husqvarna Viking. You got it, Joy. That's what my expensive machine is. It's a Viking. I know, it's like dark as paint. Yeah, it's drying black. And it's drying a matte, not super shiny black. Okay, I think I might love this stuff. Of course, I'm going to make a bubble heating it. Cool. Yeah, this little piece down here, and it's a matte finish black. So this is like way cool stuff. Yeah, and it's a Blick brand. Huh. Bonds to most porous and non-porous material, including paper, fabric, wood, and pottery. Don't freeze it though, okay? Non-toxic. Huh. Cool stuff. And no, I paid for that all on my own. Nobody gave it to me, so I can promote it all I want. Huh, that's cool. How well does it stick? I have more stuff all over my fingers these days. Ugh. Well, that was smooth. I need baby wipes. Oh, don't tell me my baby wipes are empty. My baby wipes are empty. I've got black goo on my hands and I have no baby wipes. Well, how did I get this all over me so quickly? Oh, what a mess. All right. Well, that was smooth. Anyway, cool thing, but you know, if you're kind of a pig pen type like me, you get it all over your hands. Okay. Now I got it on there too. So we can do this without getting it everywhere. There. Okay. Woo! That was fun. The black glue is just a Blick. It's a Blick from, I got it at Dick Blick. So it's a Blick, it's their brand. So you'd have to order it from Dick Blick. DickBlick.com. My favorite store. Right now, it's my daughter's least favorite store. She acts about going to Blick about the same way as when she was little. She and Trevor both used to hate to go to fabric stores. It's like, no, mommy, no, not the quilt store. All right, we're going to toss a little gesso on here. The other cool things that I've been playing a lot with are these catalyst wedges. It's a way to smooth stuff on. You can smooth paint on. It's this one's soft and rubbery. These are hard. But what I like, it's kind of like using a bone folder It just kind of helps to smooth things down. This one gives some texture because it's got ziggy-zaggy edge. This one's got a point on it, but I've been playing with these a lot and love them. Their other thing is in that same Catalyst line, you can get a brush like this, but I just went over to my local grocery store and they had this. This is a basting brush, but it makes really cool lines with paint and stuff, so it's fun. Easy to clean up too. So anyway, let's just grab just a basic brush because we're just going to put a little gesso on here just to give it and I'm just getting it onto the canvas as well. I'm not giving it a whole lot of care. I'm just getting it on there. And I'm leaving my threads on until I decide to cut them off. So I haven't decided if I'm going to cut them off at all. So I'm not going to do the back at this point. I'm just going to do these front pieces. Don't have to have it fully covered. Just throwing some on there. Gives me a chance to think, what do I want to do? Yeah, these things can be used for gesso. Because you can use it and it'll smooth it out. Oh, I like how that's working because see, that's giving me the texture of the. I love how that ended up looking like because you'd see the texture of the. Oh, this isn't dry yet, but I can do it with here too. It gets rid of the brush marks. I can wash this later. But I like how what it did with that is it kind of, you can see now the cardboard. But so it smooths out things like brush lines. So you can use it for gesso. You can actually, there's all sorts of things you can do with these where you can paint something, let it dry, put another color over the top, and then swirl with it. It's some cool. You can do some really cool painting things with these. So. But anyway, what is the rough size? Okay, the back, and I gave this on the very first class. So the back is 6.5 by 8.5, and the one side, the squared side, is 5 by 6.5, and the other side is 6.5 tall by approximately 5.5. So, and that'll fit in the suitcase when we get to that point. I want to get this done and then I'll finish up the sample because I just want to make sure. I've also been known to, do the album first and then it doesn't fit into the intended container. And so I want to get this done and then I'll finalize the suitcase that we'll be doing as well, the fairy suitcase. I'm going back and yeah, Lois, they run into issues. Trust me. Trevor learned cursive. This is a soapbox thing of mine. I guess they're now here in our school district. They're teaching cursive again, but Trevor's class was the last class they taught cursive. Sarah was 2 years behind him, and they didn't teach cursive to her. So she can't read it and she can't write it. And these kids panic when they have to sign their name. When we went to get her driver's license, she had to sign her name. It was sheer panic because she didn't know how to, quote unquote, sign her name. So I've taught her enough to get by in terms of signing her name, but these kids don't know how to sign their names because they don't teach cursive. And I mean, they don't teach them cursive, and they also cannot read a non-digital clock, a standard clock, the round clock with the hands. They can't read those. They only learn how to read a digital clock and non-cursive. Of course, they can make TikTok and Snapchat stand on its head, but they. But anyway, yeah, no, that's one of my soapbox items. It just, that's not quite right yet. It bugs the padoodles out of me that they don't teach these kids. We have a whole generation that they didn't teach them how to write their name. I've talked about this before. My mother-in-law, before her dementia really took hold, I had her, because she always did these massive amounts of Christmas cookies, and I had her write up all of the recipes. I got these cute little recipe cards and had her write those up so that Sarah would have them. Sarah can't read them. They're all in cursive. So, but we have them. And I think that's what's important. If nothing else, I can type them up in a computer. So she has the cursive ones. But yeah. Oh, Alexa, you had a progressive school. They taught you how to do that. That's like, I've always said they need to have a class, a math class on how to do things, except people don't do checks anymore either. So, but they need to do things like a class where they learn real world math skills. How to do a tax return, how to fill out, the forms you need to get a job, how the stock market actually works, how to maintain a bank account, all those kinds of things. We need, because parents aren't doing it for not everybody's parents are teaching them these things. And I really think it's something that our education system, and I don't really mean to go all weird and off topic and all that kind of stuff, but it's a subject matter that I'm just a little crazed about, because I just think it's just insane what we've done. All right, so back onto the subject. I kind of like this area because I like all the colors that are in it, but then I also like this one. I don't know, this one might work better on the inside so I can get more of it. So I'm not great on that one, but I'm liking this one. You could do it where it had this thing on there, so it would be like that. There's the daisy. This one, by the time I got that on there, that's all I'd have really would be my that guy. So, and then the rest are the more backgroundy type ones. And the other ones that I don't have printed are ones I've already used. So I think we're going to go with this. I don't know why. There's just something about this area that I really like. So I'm going to trim this off. Oops. Didn't mean to drop that. We have the cabinet that's next to our fridge, and over there's a little desk area. Because we're painting on the cabinets, or I should say, the royal we. My husband is painting on the cabinets, and he had today off, so he's working on that one. But he just took the entire cabinet because it's got these cubby holes because it's over the desk. It's got all these cubby holes in it. And I said, this is going to be just a booger to paint. Well, it's up here. Why don't you just take the whole cabinet down and paint it and then put it back up? Well, he did that, but then the cubby holes all came apart. So then he had to reconstruct the cubby holes and putting them all back together. But now he's trying to put the cabinet up. And I'm hoping that he asked Trevor to help him. Or he might have asked Sarah. But since I'm doing this, I couldn't help him. So... And Trevor's good at things like goalie and knowing history. Handiwork, not so much. And my husband is also one who likes doing things himself. And so he's not the world's greatest at communicating what it is he needs you to do for him. So, yeah, it could be humorous down there. So I don't hear any swear words yet, so we're good. The cabinets are going to be white. They're currently kind of that orangish, I think they called it cherry at the time, but it was kind of the color, the in color for cabinets about, let's see, we've been in this house 14 years now. So it was in color 14 years ago because it was a brand new house. But now white is much more trendy now. Okay, I do want to keep... I like this little daisy here. Let's just mark that so we can trim that off here. Because then we're going to have to finagle it to shape it. So then I just tore it to kind of fit the same shape there. It's a little, took all the print off, so I'm just going to tear it back to the printed paper because I don't want that much, just the raw. Yeah, see, so that'll work on there perfectly. I might add some little color things along there. Maybe this is a good place to bring in a sliver of that. And what has really been rather ironic of doing this kind of thing on these papers and stuff is how many projects I can use them for. Because you really start finding when you start doing a lot more painting things where you're just doing it to do it because it's cool. You find you kind of gravitate to a palette. I mean, mine probably is going to change every few months, but right now this is kind of my color palette that I'm totally into. So, but yeah, I like how that's kind of looking. But I do want to kind of give this a little bit more agey kind of thing on there. So, pull my watercolor stuff out. I had one of these moments the other day that it was like when you see somebody do something, you go, Duh, I think it was on a video on Instagram. Yes, I'm scrolling by because it wasn't something I actively went and looked for. It was just something that came up somewhere, and I know it wouldn't have been on Facebook. But to wet down when you're using, the cake type watercolors is to wet these down is take your squirter. If you don't use that color, it's fine. It'll just dry, but it's like, it was one of those like, duh, smack your forehead kind of moments. Like, of course. Of course. Why didn't I ever think of that? So yeah, no, that was rather a humorous moment when I saw that and went, that's brilliant. So, want some brown. Add a touch of the reddish brown. Let's go water into it. You can obviously do this with ink too. Okay, so that's the front. Let's do the back. All right, I'm not looking at the chat. Let's see. Hey, I'm just a Terran queen, All right, so don't have to be perfect. Unless it's going to make you crazy, then by all means, make it as perfect as you need it to be for yourself. Yeah, it sounds like Sarah's helping him because I hear Sarah's voice. Yeah, that's always fun. I'm just touching the edge. Don't want to do a lot on it. I need to dry this a little bit. It's damp. My glue won't stick as well. Are you guys getting the are you seeing when I post on paper doodles and stuff? Since I don't post all that often anymore, I didn't know if the algorithm had it to where people weren't seeing that like there's class and stuff coming up, things like that. So I'm just trying to figure out a best way to keep people informed about when classes are coming and stuff, since we just don't have a very big crowd. So, I mean, yeah, maybe that's my ego talking. I'm just not that popular anymore. Yeah, well, I posted it today. I need to post it sooner. I thought I already had it on the calendar, and I went and looked and went, oh, Canettles, it's not on there. So I'm going to try to get better about the summer stuff. Do people want projects going on during the summer, or no? Would you rather? Do you want live type projects during the summer, or would you? Because I have some planned that I'm going to do all just on videos, and then you can work at your own pace. But if I, do you still want to do some live ones? Do you want to take a little bit of a break from that and just have um, the video ones? Because I know a lot of people, I'm finding a lot more people nowadays are watching the videos rather than the live shows, because I get a significantly greater number. And I don't know if it's just the timing or just, what it is, whether it's, that, or they just would rather watch it on their own time. Because if a lot of people are doing, I'm just marking this right now where it is, where it's not going to show, so that I can get it glued back down. Um, because is a different time better for people? Um, yeah, no, I agree in terms of doing some of the live and stuff, but I think kind of what I'm planning on some of these summer camp things. I mean, I'm going to do one, and if it's successful, then I'll do more, but I'm not going to put all the time and effort into getting 4 of them ready when it's not what people want. But my kind of thinking is what I want to do with those ones is the entire project, all the videos will be available when you purchase, because I'm not going to put it up until they're ready. Then you can purchase, you have all the videos to assemble, but then there will also be a live session as well about a week later, to answer questions, to chat, to see what people are doing, that sort of thing. Um, so I didn't know if that's something we could potentially, it's kind of like also with this one, as I did the video in advance showing how to put it all together, and then we're decorating it on the live show. So I'm just kind of trying to get a feel for what people are thinking. But I also know summers are a busy time, and this summer probably is going to be even busier than a lot because more and more people are going to be able to be out doing things. So, I don't want to, if that's not what people are wanting to do, I'd rather save stuff for fall or something like that. I'm confused as to Lois's question. I thought this was. But I also know that there's a lot of people who don't like they like to have the videos to where you have all the videos to assemble the project, even, all the decorating, all that stuff. They just as soon it all be just on video and then potentially some live stuff. Just because a lot of people don't like all the chit chat stuff, my tangents, so to speak. I was kind of crumpling the edge up a little bit so it's got a little more texture. And then everybody agrees with me, and then it doesn't help me with feedback because it's like, but then I don't know that it's what everybody wants. So I'm going through weird stuff right now, trying to figure out what's the best, because I don't want to, I don't want to. I don't know how to put this. I want to do the kinds of things that you guys want to do. I don't want to just. I'm not explaining it very well, so I'll figure it out and write it up and explain it. So I'm trying to stay off Facebook as much as I possibly can these days. I keep almost getting myself into trouble making comments that I shouldn't make, but I'm bad about that. All right, let me get some stuff out to stencil on here. Where's the one that I wanted? There it is. These are pieces of larger stencils that are cut up. So these are the ones that I've been using that have got some of that little blue on it and stuff. So, all right, so that's dry enough to close. So now we're going to whip out a blue little aqua. These are the colors we've been using already. This is kind of just a folk art. Just a color. Oh, Bluebell and Craft Smart Tropical Rain. Doesn't that sound pretty? And then my absolute one I'm using a lot of, one of my faves. This one I showed before from Holtzstone. So I'm just going to do a little bit of adding a little bit of just a little cosmetic sponge. And the blue, and a little bit of the aqua. Blend them a little. We'll put those little dots there. Maybe a few more down here. I like that. Just giving a little bit more, some colory stuff on there. I think I might do a few little dots in kind of this peachy color. Since I don't want to chop that top off of that one yet, I'll just get a second one out. I'm just going to do a row of so it came out more of a kind of stripe type of thing, but along that edge there. But just kind of tie some of that color in. Maybe I'll do a couple of, where is it wet still? So maybe I'll just do a little few here. So that just adds some interest to that. Oops, there we go, that cover. So like thusly. And by having this flowered in here, because it was a case of, I didn't know, I'm going to have a tie that'll come around. And I think I'll have it come back around from the backs and tie here. You could also do it this way, but I think I'm going to want it this way. And by having my flower kind of down low, if something's going across here in the middle, it's not going to cut anything off. So I like how that is kind of working. So then I got to come up with something that goes over on this side. We can do some more of this same paper, keeping it kind of light. Or we can use this piece, bring in some more color in, and then I can fill that in with something. That seems almost too busy. I almost think I like this, and just having this little along the edge there just seems to kind of fit. I kind of like that, and we can add some other little color stuff on there. And then I can do something along that little edge there. Okay, when I'm going to flip this over, now, biggest thing when I flip over like that is I got to remember this is the bottom and this is the top. So I want to just remember I have it flipped over. So don't be doing something dumb. I mean, that little strip won't show until I open it up, but I like that. Okay. More blue just for Lois. Okay, so that's going to go over up against there. Okay, so close to the edge. Close to the edge without going over. Come on, come out, come out, come out. See, if this were dark instead of so pale, I would use some of that new black glue, but because this is pretty much white-ish. Wrinkle my edges a little bit. Yeah, so you open it up, you got that little pop of the color. Now on these little things, because I want them to stand out a little bit more, I'm going to take and just kind of circle around those. Because then it kind of fits with the line stuff that's over there. I can pop my crayons out. Maybe pop a little more color. Let's see what colors on here. I do kind of this kind of bluey violet on it a little bit. And then a little bit of this aqua color. Just give it a little bit more color to them. Throw that little crayon on there, maybe a little of this green up in here. Same kind of bluish color. So throw that a little bit in there. Just add a little. Gotta just be real careful on this part that's coming out of the printer with the water, because you can smear your printing. So I just punch the color level up a little bit. And I forgot the pen that I used, or the one isn't water soluble. So, and again, if I were going to be doing much wet stuff on top of the digital paper that I've printed, I would do a coat of Spray Fix on there, whether you're using Spray Fix or you're using like Aquanet hairspray, but you just want to fix it first, and then it's still workable, but it doesn't run quite as quick and fast and easily. So but I'm loving how that's looking. Might dry. Here, we'll help you along a little. So there's how the covers look, and I might find some sort of like little quote thing that can go on the cover, and then I'll find a cute fabric that will wrap around. But I don't want to put that onto, and I'll attach it on the back and then put my paper over the back. But I don't want to attach that on until I figure out my spines. But yeah, see, I like how those, because that's going to be about right there. So I like these little polka dotty things popping out. But I think I want a little bit of that color, maybe like right down here. And since I've already been doing the dots, let's just do more of the dots. Ugh, I just got blue all over this one. I'm just having, see, it's like my, it's like the world knows that I don't have wet wipes. So it's, I hardly need any. So I'm just making a hot little mess of myself here. Here, so just doing a couple of those little dots there. It kind of ties stuff all together. And then I like how that's looking. A little loose, a little goose, a little fun. So I think I want something underneath that edge. Let's see. Perfect. This is what I want. I wish I knew where I got this. And oh my God, I've had this for like a million years. It's kind of just a scalloped cut cotton stuff. But I'm thinking this might be kind of fun. I like it. I like it. I like it. Don't want anything else. Poke it out from under there. Since it's going to be a fairy-ish. It's fairy without being screaming, hey, I'm fairy kind of thing. I don't think it needs that as well. I think I just want this one. Well, maybe it would have. Pearls are going, me. And I'm like going, yeah, no. So this goes under that edge. Oh, yeah, I like that. And then what if we put the little leaves along there too? Oh, I like that. Okay, so we'll pull some of those out. Oh, good Lord, we don't need that much. All right. Put that away. All right, so we'll put that, but I want to put that on, and then let's attach this on. Yeah, let's attach that on, and then do I want to put paper on over it? No, I want to put paper over it. Do I want to put paper up? Yeah, we're just going to glue it on. I'm not going to think so much about it. Okay. This thing works stupendously. I don't know if it's got performance anxiety or what, but my glue never does this to me when y'all aren't here. So I don't know if the glue just doesn't like to be on camera. Oh, come on. Good night, Lois. Thank you for coming. Oh, good grief. Okay, close enough. See, and I love this trim stuff because it's kind of, it's not perfect, and it's all wrinkly and crumply, you know. And I'm all about embracing the not perfect right now. See how cute that looks along there? Oh, I just see that just goes with the kind of vibe. And I'm just, rather than trimming that off, I'm just going to wrap it around the corner. It's a little long, so why chop? Just pop it around the corner like so. I don't know what we might do in here. I'm going to paint this. We might put paper on it. I don't know yet. But I do like then the leaves. It's like a little vine climbing up. So it gives a little bit more of that fairy vibe. That's my word of the day, I guess, vibe. Why is it not coming out? Where is it pluggered? Now, besties. Excuse me. Oh, the allergies are not my friends. I'm about ready to pull out the black glue. Up there now. It's a little bit of thread, and it suddenly goes, oh, okay, I'll work now. It's funny how that works. I don't want to get stuck there. Let go of my fingers. And loop that around too, because it's just the way I'm rolling right now. Yeah, see, that's kind of just that's working. Glue off my hands. I'm just the blue-fingered lady now. Yeah, so then I'll have a tie going on there. I'm liking how that's looking. I think this makes just... And then I'll probably get some sort of quote, statement type quote that we can put there. And I'll be good. And then this will open up here, and you've got the little pop of color. And then, you know, it pulls in all of the similar colors and tones throughout then the book. So maybe next week I'll work a little bit on this, and then we can work on this a little bit this next week, and by then the following week. So we should have the whole thing done. If I decide I want to do another project, I have some fun stuff to do using file folders coming up that we can do on the live Fridays. And then we'll see from there. Does anybody have any questions? Or I don't even know what time it is. Am I done early? Oh God, it's only 5. Oh, 5. Well, we started at 3:30. Okay, we still got 25 minutes, but we might get done a little bit early today. So, and then I'll have to figure out some cool ribbon or strip of fabric. Ooh, this polka dot might be kind of cool. I know it's a little strong, but it might work. This is too wide. I'd have to trim it, but it's kind of fun. He was just peeking out of the door going, "Pick me, pick me." My glue is still wet. As this gets fatter, come on, pull. I kind of think the black and white's kind of fun with it. I might have it to where it ties more. Over here at the edge. I think I like it better over off there. I can scrunch this up a little bit so it's not quite so crunched there. Scrunch it up a little bit, so then I like the kind of the tie off on the edge. Or maybe it's right on the corner. Oh, yeah, right there on the edge then. So I think that I almost think I like the black and white. I think that looks kind of cute with it. Yeah, so I think it's kind of fun. It's a little bit more happy. I think we all need a little happy in our lives right now. So, but yeah, the polka dots and the contrast, I think, gives it just a lot of fun. So, and who knows, I may pop in some of this black into the spine. Maybe I'll cover part of the spine with that, even after I add into it, but put some of this on there and we'll see. Or maybe put some of it on the inside too. I have more of this black and white polka dot. Because then I'm also thinking it might be fun to cover these inside covers with the black and white polka dot. And then it just kind of ties together. Then once you untie it, and then you got the black and white polka dot. And I can even do some black and white polka dot back here. And then when this opens up, it all kind of gives a nice pop background, because I already have some dark with the dots kind of stuff in here. So it's not like the dark is foreign, because I do have the paper that's got the dark stuff on it. So it's not foreign to all of this, but I don't know. There's something about just doing this so loose and so free. I'm, not a lot of plan, though, over the years we've done these. It's not like I've had a lot of plan in advance, but it's just fun doing this very loose kind of free thing. I did get a comment on my YouTube saying that they really liked that. Okay, so this one I can salvage. This one, we'll see. I'll set it aside, but let me just brush this stuff that's on here out a bit, just so that it can dry faster. But they appreciated how I was bringing back some of my old projects into a new format by, taking an old album and turning it into a junk journal. And I've been trying to think of some other ones that I could do that with. And there's one that I thought of. Oh, there it is. Can I get that thing down? I got to grab I've been looking all over for it, and I just looked up at a different spot. I'm thinking this one could work out really cool to do a junk journal, but I got to grab my step stool to get it down. So hang on 2 seconds. I would have gotten it down before if I'd have known where it was, and it just happens to be that I looked up at a different part and I see it. So if you hear me crash, that means I've fallen off my step stool. Let's try not to do that. I'm trying to remember what this one was called. I think this one also might be a really fun one to do in the same fashion, because it really lends itself. God, there's nothing done in this one at all. It was done with file folders. This is not the one. And it had these little bars to attach things onto. And then it had these little envelopes. See, I had these bars, and we would attach things to the bars. This is not the one that I wanted. And then I had these little pockets. I don't know if y'all remember this one. These little pockets go here. This goes there. Yeah, this isn't the one that I wanted. But it had these little tab things that we attached the pockets to. What one was this one called? I wish I had the one that... it was with... this I did it with this open spine. This is like there was like 3 choices. This one was like the third one. What's it? Is that other one up there? No, it's too wide for it. But it was tall and skinny like this. But I have one. Let me just take a quick peek. Hang in there, guys. But I had one that was like 2/3 of the way done, because that's the one I did in class. Well, I don't see it in here, so it must be packed away in a bag with all its guts, or with all the stuff that goes in it. So I will find it, because this doesn't show what I wanted to show, because it just doesn't show it as doing all of the junk journal stuff in it. But I think it's one that could lend itself pretty easily to it. I can picture the paper. Now, this wasn't the Teresa Collins one. I know it had red in it. I can picture it. I can totally picture it. Let me look. One more thing. I'm sorry, I'm going to leave you guys. I have to run into the room next door. I think I might know where it is. I found it. I found it. This one. Oh, gosh. And if somebody can remember what it's called. But see, it has all these little pockets and stuff in it. But it had these little things. All these little pockets. Then we have these little pockets here for all this stuff. But see, then we have these bars. And like that made a pocket above the bar. And you could paper clip stuff onto these little bands. I don't remember what I was calling them. I'd have to go back and look at the video. But these could be like junk envelopes here that are attached to this. This is like, see, this tucks in back behind all that. But see, this could totally be kind of junk journal-y. And then it has the flap. We did pockets. So it has all these little card-like things and tabs. Because rather than this being a flap, this could be like a junk journal section. Because like each one of these, we were doing this kind of journaling stuff long before journaling, and we were calling it scrapbooking. Because each one of these is like a signature. It's using the file folders. Because even instead of these envelopes in the middle, this could be kind of junk journal. We could add pages in the middle of it and turn each of these into a signature that, we don't have to put all these pocket things on there. Maybe keep the flap, but maybe this is just a flap rather than all these little pockets here on each of these. And then we could put pages in the middle rather than this cascade. Same sort of thing here. Some possibilities. Yeah, so, looking at this other one, where we don't have all the stuff in the middle. So, instead of using this and putting, this could be pages inside, and then these could be flap things. So we could do it in a similar fashion, but turn it into much more of a junk journal with pages in between. So each one of these, is a signature. I like that idea better. So we can modify it. But this is just something that it really sparked something with that comment, is that turning some of these older projects into more of a journaling type project. I remember this paper. It's kind of this, it had all sorts of different traveling type things on it. I'm positive it's a basic gray. Just looking at the paper, I'm almost positive it's a basic gray. It's just the colors and this the style of it. You know, just the style of these flowers. Fun. So, you know, we can modify what I've done already rather than inventing a whole new wheel or doing what everybody else is doing. Taking and doing this sort of thing and turning it into a new project would be fun. Is this fold out? Really? Memories on file sounds. It's not expended photo file. Memories on file. No, this one would have been before Photofolio. Fold out folio. It is memories on file. Okay, memories. Yeah, see, memories on file because it's file folders. I mean, sometimes I thought I was being cute, but when it was actually being kind of like groaner. But you know, but I just think this one would really lend itself to a modification as a more in, you know, let it loose kind of album. So well, so that's a possibility. I'll have to remember this one because I think this could work out kind of fun, but not doing all this little fussy pocket stuff. I think changing that out to where it's not the little pockets, but instead it's just another flap, because this is the file folder part. And so how we did that a flap, we can also do this one a flap. And I think less fussy. Fun. I forgot about this one. I remember when I designed it, though, I remember coming up with these attach bands. I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch the video and see what I was calling them, because I thought I had just this cool idea. So where I had the horizontal ones and the vertical ones, and it kind of became an element, you know, in everything. So we had vertical ones and then horizontal ones, and they were just belly bands. The long ones, I glued them down in the middle. But then you can just, you know, paper clip or attach things on as you wanted to. So fun. But all right. So if that's a possibility, you love the fussy pockets. Well, we might keep some fussy pockets, but I don't think we keep all the fussy pockets. I'm trying to remember. There was one more. I know there was 3. There was that one. And then there was one that was much more girly floral. And then there was one that was using the much more artsy fartsy paper stuff. There was the calendar version. That was another project. What? Because that was when Graphic 45 came out with the calendar, their first calendar paper collection, and I know I've seen it somewhere, but I don't know where it is. But there's so many that could get turned into this kind of thing. There's several of these that could get turned into like the original photo folio that caused so much drama. I'm trying to think if this one would lend itself. This one, not as much. This is a rare animal. It's finished. So, yeah, this is the original photo folio. And this one was photo folio 2. This one had about 5 million fold outs and pockets and pop outs and flips and flops and I don't think this one wants to be. This has got too many flips and stuff to turn into junk journal. All right, so that's probably not a good one for it. Book of Memories. It's a ginormous album. Yes, and that's up also on the step stool up there to get down, but I'll get that one down next. And then this is the one that I had it as the other option was as a calendar. It has all these little fuzzy pockets along the bottom. And then it had all these flaps at the top. And this became a pocket. So these worked for calendars. I love this papers. Yeah, see, it's got all these flaps. And then it's got all the pockets. But we did it as a calendar version. And this one also, again, does not. See, here's all the little flappy pocket things. So this also does not lend itself to do a journal. But it's a fun project. Yeah, memories on file. Let me grab it. Let me get back up on the step stool. Fortunately, I didn't put it away. Since there's not very many of you here, I feel like I can do this. What's this one? Oh, this is the other version of the memories on file. This is another memories something one. And this was a huge one. I've never done anything this big and never will do it again because it's way too fat. It needs to be two separate, but yeah, this is the one like the one we did. I just did it with a solid spine. No, wait. Oh, wait. No, this is not. This is photofolio. Woo! Lime green paper. No, this is photofolio, the alternate version of photofolio. But this is the Book of Memories. Remember, this is where I was ripping all this stuff up. This was with a Cane Company paper. This is definitely kind of the mixed media like stuff that we're doing now. I had these cascading little tag pockets didn't have the bottom. It just had this little ticket thing on there. This one totally could be. I love these little triangle pockets. I've seen a lot of people do those since then. This is a pocket here. This already is almost journal-like in that, but with Stack the Deck binding. Because then it's got all these little pockets. And that flaps, and then it's got more. We had paper bags and envelopes and pouches, pages with flaps. That's this half, which is like a book in and of itself. Look how thick this is. And then there's this whole other side, which we never got to work on over here, but it's got all this. But this totally could be very similar to a junk journal. Yeah, but this one was ginormous. That's the best term for it. Wait, I've never done a book that thick, and I probably don't ever plan to do it again. And it's got the Guga hanging off the back. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm most inclined towards the memories on file. I think this one lends itself to being a junk journal. So. Yeah, the photo anthology ones, those are other good ones. I'm getting surrounded here by books. These go back up on the step stool. This is also the there's a vertical photofolio. No, not photofolio. This one had that had pockets. Oh, this has to pop out. So this flips. So then it had these inserts inside. And I know there's vertical. There was a vertical. This is the horizontal one, and there was a vertical one too. And they all had there was different inserts that went in. So this one had a something file. They all had different inserts. Because they all had this little pocket, the inserts, and I had a see, don't get a lot of them done, but I see. I love the colors of this one. So memories. No, this wouldn't be memories on file. I'm trying to remember what this one. Is this the memories on file? No. Oh God! See, there's too many of them. So there's this one. This was the horizontal one, and then there was a vertical one too. I think this is this the vertical one. This is the one that had the little fingers. Because then it had all these insert things. Okay, great. Oh yeah, this is one of those spinner ones. This is, oh God, I love this paper. This is a Bobani paper. I love this paper. Somebody will come up with a name. So then there's this pocket. Pockets. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because this had that cool. This had these pages that were done as this alternating thing. This little ziggy-zaggy thing. And there was 2 of those. So there's 2 of those. And then I had the covers. So I had the 2 of those. And then I had these file things. And this is where I used that band thing again. And then I had a pocket and an envelope. And then it had this, like, which is at the front and the back, that had stuff goes in it. Oh, God, I love this paper. Oh, I can't remember what this one's called. But it's had that alternating thing. Okay, again, doesn't necessarily lend itself to being a junk thought file, but you could still do it in a junky kind of style. This is not Mystic Memories. I know that. This one, I want to say, was a... what was this? This was not... I know it was not a Mystic Memories. This is one of the file ones, though, because it's got all this file stuff on it. This one was at one of the passport events. Was it at Animal Kingdom? It is photo files. Okay. All right. So it is photo files. There's a photo files, and then there was a vertical. Maybe is this the photo files, and the other one was a vertical? I'm getting all mixed up, but yeah. So this, see, I should have just stuck with 1 or 2 designs and just wore them out instead of doing all of this. Okay, this was a vertical. I think this is the vertical one. It's not all hooked together, but it had this kind of, it was kind of picking up on the expandable file, and then it had these things here with the flaps. What did we say? This is photo files. So this, I think this is vertical photo files, and I just don't have these guys all attached in there yet. Yeah, see, and then it had these things here. See, now because these are almost like signature like things, we could do kind of in lieu of this, you could put pages in there. So we could have, instead of this pocket, you could put pages inside and still have these kinds of things at the front and back. Pocket here. It's like, it's so funny to go back and look at these, and I'm going, I so totally remember them. I remember doing them. But then again, it feels like it was a lifetime ago. because it kind of was. This is all popping up. Things got stuck under it. So yeah, I think this was vertical photo file. Huh. Yeah, I remember doing this one. Anyway, all right. Well, now that we've tripped our way down memory lane for a little bit, should have been working instead. The Bo Bunny Life in Color paper collection was that one, yeah. Was it an event project, huh? Expanded photo files. Yeah, because it was like, okay, photo files was the first one, and then it was vertical photo files, and then it was expanded photo files. So the expanded photo files was the Life in Color, and that was probably done with Animal Kingdom because it's animal paper. Not really remembering. The mind, it just goes after a while. Anyway, I do like the polka dots, so we're going to do the polka dots on this one as we keep on working. Oh, maybe it ties back over there. Oh, I almost like a better tie over there. Okay. Yeah, I like it tying over there. And we're going to crumple this up so that it's not so fat. Anyway, that's about what that one will look like. But now that we've had our little reminiscent session, those are some that I'd been thinking of laying at bed and thinking of, and I'm going, yeah, those aren't going to work real great for this. Maybe I have to go back to even some of the older ones that are simpler. Oh, thank you, Jane. That's sweet of you. I just sit here and I look around the room and I look at all these albums and all of these buildings and 3D projects, and then I have a whole bunch more that are in tubs and boxes in the other room and downstairs, and I'm just and when I do, and I look around at all of these and I go, yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm a little just pooped. Kind of burnt out, kind of tired. It's just, it was also so much easier back in those early days. There just weren't as many people doing this stuff. Now especially now after the pandemic year, everybody and their brother does online classes like it's something brand spanking new. And I'm like going, no, I've been doing it for like 12 years now. So, yeah, I kind of get blown away by the volume, and then I smack myself that I can't keep producing the way I used to. So, anyway. But you guys are all so awesome. You make me feel better. But anyway, as I said, I've kind of pivoted it into this direction of being less structured. I like doing the albums. I'd still want to do some 3D stuff, but I kind of want to do some of this 3D stuff that's also a little less structured, but it's got to be almost, this is not the right word, but it's almost got to be contrived as unstructured, because it kind of has to be a structure, and then you can do the loosey-goosey on it, which is kind of what I'm going to do with the suitcase. The structure itself is still the way it's got to be, and then but how you embellish it can be much more loose. Oh, that's sweet. Again, Jane, thank you. I'm just trying to find a direction that works for both me and all of you guys. Because I just get a little I'm already getting a little emotional about it, but just trying to figure it out. Like I said, it feels like about 5 years ago, I stepped into some sort of time warp, and I've just kinda come out of it, and everything so changed from when I went in to when I came out, and it's like, "What the heck?" So, I'm just trying to figure out I don't wanna recapture what I used to do because I wanna always move forward, but I also don't wanna lose what I used to do, so it's kind of this weird mental place that I've been in for quite a while, and I have days where it's great, and there's other days where it's like, but so there's a few of you that I'm going to drag you kicking and screaming into this if you choose to come along. If you don't, I don't know. So, anyway, but the paper, in the mix. This is only the second thing I've put up in 2021, even though I designed it in 2020. Um, no, it's again, my brain is in such time warp. I think it was no, I did it before the end of the year, and I've just finished it up here in 2021. But so that is up in the shop. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else. So yeah, and like I said, I'm just trying to figure out moving forward. Um, and I'm just going to keep moving forward with when I'm starting these summer camp projects, when I'm starting them with, and we'll see how that goes. See if there's interest in it, because summer is it's a tricky one. I know August is the toughest month because people are, especially this year, because people are actually going to be getting kids ready to go back to school. It looks like. So we're just going to kind of play it a little bit by ear, but I got to plan a little bit in advance because of how I'm doing them, by having them to where I have to have them done and ready, sample, video tutorials, written tutorials, everything before you guys even, it's before I put it up, because I'm not doing anything pre ever again. So, but I want to kind of see this first one, because if it's a flop, because the only other one I've done this way was one of my houses, and I think I sold 3 of them, and it had hours upon hours upon hours upon hours in it, and I sold 3. And so I got really discouraged. So I'm hoping that these projects for this summer, I know there's a lot of people who would much rather all I did was 3D, but I also, it's kind of trying to satisfy a little bit of everybody. But I'm having so much fun with this junk journal type stuff. So I'm like, So I'm just rambling on now. So hopefully anybody who's just stopped in to see what I'm up to has already turned off the video, because this is not video kind of stuff that I always want to have on YouTube channel. So anyway. Alrighty, guys, I'm gonna let y'all go. Now that I've gone, first I was short, now I'm over because we were running down memory lane. So, but sometimes that's fun to do. So anyway, I'm looking forward to when I can eventually be able to, see your, or you can see my smiling face again, but I'm still trying to figure that all out. One of the things I've also thought about for doing those single live things with those classes is potentially doing some sort of a Zoom type of thing, because I think that would also be fun. It just depends on how big the group is, but I think that might be kind of fun to do a Zoom type of thing. So we'll see for that. But anyway, I'm going to let you all go. I got to go feed everybody. I'm glad to see everybody doing so well. Thank you, Christine and Jane, Candy, Alexa, all of you guys for always showing up and being here. I appreciate it. As always, Joy, I don't know what I'd do without you or Pam. And then I know that Lois has already left, but I know she'll watch this. So hi, Lois. Anyway, we will be back next Friday. We'll keep working on this project, and I will see you all then. So love y'all bunches. Bye for now.